on LinkedIn, on Periscope, and on YouTube. And welcome to my Entrepreneurship Immersion in Singapore. And ladies and gentlemen, guess who is coming to speak at my immersion program? The one and only Jeff Hunter. Oh my God. Super excited. And if you are live with us right now, and let me know in the comment section where you are joining us from, social media wise and geographically speaking. I think, Jeff, you are also live in one of the Facebook groups, right?
I think I'm live on my Facebook page right now, so I hope that works.
Awesome.
If you guys can hear me okay, let me know.
Yes, welcome everyone. And just in case you have no idea what this crazy lady is so excited about, and I want to share with you. And this year, I resigned from my job and I organized a very exciting, life-changing...
Hold on a second. Tell them what your job was.
College professor. I worked in higher education for 10 plus years. I taught social media, PR, public relations, communication, personal branding classes. But I saw how broken the model is. And that's what inspired me to build my own school and to develop this entrepreneurship immersion program that I wish I had when I was younger, that I wanted my own children to experience. And as they are also interested in becoming an entrepreneur. And I'm going to do a quick screen share. And this program is happening next month. And we will be staying at this beautiful place, the Yacht Club in Singapore, and for members only. And we are going to come here to have fun and to learn. The speakers will be staying there, and I will be staying there, and everybody else will be enjoying this nice 5-star resort. And we're going to learn and be transformed. And also, do you actually know, look, this is the Singapore airport, a big, nice, hold on, let me show you an image, a waterfall, like there's parks. It is amazing. And we're going to be at this place. And here are all the speakers to come to the event. Jeff Hunter, Chocolate Johnny. We're going to discuss personal development and Google Analytics and copywriting, live streaming, and so many other topics that no student, let me share this with you right now. No student will have access to this level of entrepreneurs, digital marketers from their traditional school environment. So really excited. If you are, and we'll also be visiting Microsoft, Adobe, HubSpot, TalkWalker, and leading startup companies in Singapore. And we're also going to receive certifications, Adobe certification, entrepreneurship, and small business certification. So if you are interested, in the comment section, let me know and let's have a conversation. And my dear friend Jeff, he is going to discuss effective copywriting for digital media. And just in case you are in the cave, you don't even know who is this awesome guy sitting here. And Jeff is known as the king of outsourcing, but now he is doing a lot more than that. He's also the founder of Branded Media, where he helps founders and CEOs to become influencers in their own industry. And Jeff is also an effective copywriting, and his content has been trending on LinkedIn. And he didn't even work that hard on the post, right? Trended. And so
sometimes I get really surprised. I'm like, oh, that post trended.
But that shows how good you are. So really excited and honored to have Jeff to come to Singapore and join us live next month and to discuss effective copywriting and to teach the next generation. And I also want to learn from you and fellow entrepreneurs and how we can master copywriting and to leverage social media to build a profitable brand and business for ourselves. So thank you so much, Jeff, and welcome to my show.
You know, it's funny because the reason why I accepted your invitation to go and teach there is because just like what you said, I wished I had this growing up. You know, I went my whole life thinking that I was going to be a computer science guy and program uh, computer games. Like I really wanted to do that. I didn't know exactly what I wanted to do with life. I didn't have someone in my family or a professor or a teacher. Or why is somebody calling you right now on Facebook? Unbelievable. I didn't have a teacher. Hold on, let me turn off my notifications. I didn't have somebody to really push me into entrepreneurship. I was just kind of going through the routine, and I don't want to say I wasted. I learned a lot in my 12 years of college, but what it actually did for my career and the success I've had now, probably very negligible. And I know that you and I over the past couple of years have grown really close because we both feel so adamant about the future of education and how the education system right now is so broke, how backwards it is, how right now grade school just teaches kids how to go to middle school, and middle school just teaches kids how to go to college or high school, and then high school just teaches kids how to go to college, and then college teaches people how to go to what?
Yeah, the college go to graduate school. You just enter the perpetual cycle of learning, and keep learning more. But guess what? School are using that to make money out of you. For my earlier live streaming show, this lady said that she went to NYU for a degree, and listen, it cost her $80,000 a year to realize that degree was useless for her. $80,000. Oh my God.
Well, now you have, and then even the principles that we teach our kids today and how backwards it is. We have a whole generation of entitlement. We have a whole generation of kids that go to college. They spend 10, 15, 20, 30, 50,000, $80,000 a year for their education for a job that they're going to be lucky to get 50 to 75K a year. And the funny part is they come out of college expecting that they're going to get that 50, 75K a year job right out the bat with no experience, with no real life lessons or goals. And that was where you and I connected. And I felt like this was something where I could give back. And I know that, what I teach, what you and I do is something that could never be curriculum in a college, because social media marketing, the ability to truly do copywriting, these are things that change all the time, especially because the platform. I just got just this year, Instagram created a new feature called Creator, and I just got invited to it yesterday, so I feel really cool.
Aww.
But I just got reminded of a post from 2 years ago. 2 years ago. I remember how excited I was because Facebook Day came out. Do you remember that?
Yes.
Facebook Day. Now it's called Facebook Stories, but it used to be called Facebook Day. Like, here, let everybody know what your day is about. And I was like, oh man, this is going to be so cool. This is going to be so different. Instagram didn't even have live 2 years ago, right? So all this stuff changes all the time, and by the time that some genius would, who's college educated, who does this would put together a book or something, and it finally get approved by the board of directors or whoever does the educational book, and it gets into the classroom, and some professor who reads through the book, by the time the professor's ready, competent enough to teach the book, it's out of date by years.
It's right? So true. It's so true. And I mean, like, I came from, nothing can be more compelling than my personal background. I came from the academic background. And for so many years, I was literally just faking it, using a book, which is outdated, to try to pretend that I actually knew something, knew a little bit more than my students. But not like only until I started to practice did I realize, wow, this is how much everything changes. And this is how I should be teaching social media. So I want to ask you, Jeff, because you work with so many young people, young professionals, and what do you think are some really, really important skills and for them to become a successful entrepreneur, but they are not necessarily learning those skills from the traditional school environment?
how to write a good Facebook post.
I love it.
Like how to write a good Facebook post that actually gets people to engage with you. How to really build your own online brand, how to really stand out from everybody else. We live in a climate where the number one currency in the world is attention. The
Mm,
reason that we're here today is because I'm trying to raise awareness and attention for what you're trying to do. And the reason why you're live with me is because you're trying to raise awareness to what you do and to what I do,
mm,
right? So this is a very interesting skill. And considering that, most of these social platforms, I mean, TikTok wasn't even around last
yeah.
year. It's been around for a few years. It used to be Musically and whatever else. But, the climate has changed so much. And if you're able to get more eyeballs on stuff, and not just eyeballs, because, I gotta, let's just be honest. There's a lot of these college kids, these Instagram influencers, these girls that wear bikinis all day and take pictures of themselves and stuff. They get hundreds of thousands of likes. Is that real influence?
No.
I
Mhm.
mean, I mean, there might be a rare case like a Kim Kardashian or a Kylie Jenner who is able to take those eyeballs and truly monopolize into money, but it doesn't really take a lot of work to really be great, to truly be great and to stand out amongst people. And you don't have to spend 4 to 8 years in college to learn this stuff.
No, no. And I'm so happy that you mentioned this, Jeff, because from my experience of working with undergraduate students, and we call them digital natives, millennials, digital Gen Z. But you know what is surprising about them? Many of them, they use social media purely as entertainment. They don't know how to use social media. Even Instagram is their favorite social media platform. They don't know how to do captions. When you look at their, like my own students, when I look at their captions, oh my God, there's no story, there's no context, there's no content, just a picture, and the only way to grab people's attention is wearing bikini or doing some stupid things, but that's not influencing. I so agree with you. And this is a trained skill you need to learn regardless of age, not just like young people, but for all of us. I have to learn copywriting, and in fact I got a PhD, so I have to unlearn what I was learning in the school environment. I have to deconstruct that and reconstruct a new way of writing for digital media. So share with us, and what do you see are some common mistakes that people make in terms of copywriting? I can't hear you. We can now hear you, Jeff.
I want to show you a perfect example of what I'm talking about. So this right here, I wasn't looking through my phone being rude. I was actually looking for a photo to prove a point to you guys. Do you guys recognize these kids?
Yeah, no.
So just not even a month ago, I don't even think it was a month. There was this kid, this little skinny white kid at school, who kept getting picked on because he wore the same clothes to school
Uh,
every day, and he kept getting bullied. And those are the two kids that they're on the football team, and they actually brought some new kicks. They brought some shoes and some clothes and stuff for the kid, and he was just completely taken back. The kid says that the family's going through some hard times, and his mom just
uh,
he's growing too fast. His mom can't keep up with buying him new clothes and stuff like that. And these kids were just like, that's not right, and they stood up. They stood up for this kid, and they brought him some clothes, and that story went viral.
oh wow.
And they got on Ellen. They were on Ellen DeGeneres show. And I apologize, I've got strep throat.
Oh,
But what's really interesting is that I went to look at their Instagram. I met them in person at a Tony Robbins event, and
oh wow.
out with them, and they had no clue, no clue. Like, I told
Oh,
them, hey, hit me up. Just because I wanted to. I told them I give them access to my social copy secrets program, which you're in, and that I can show them how to actually become useful online instead of just being a story that people talk about. Like, how do we take that attention and then turn that into something that's lasting? Because what's going to happen is, here with their current skill set and what they're posting online right now, which by the way is not great content, they're going to be in the dust in 1 month from now. And that's how the social media thing goes. You have to be constantly relevant. If you want to stay in business, if you want to stay an influencer, if you want to grow and build your reputation to where you're going to be an influencer in your space for a long time and not just be something that's a fad, then you have to truly understand how to leverage social media. And not a lot of people do.
So true, so true. I love, even for those people who have such a compelling story, they are underutilizing social media. And can you imagine everyday people? They probably feel like, I don't even have a story. Their social media presence is probably even worse. But the truth is, we all have a story. If you know how to share stories, how to communicate your stories, you and I, we each have a story. And my dear friend Chocolate Johnny from Australia, he's also a speaker at my Entrepreneurship Immersion program. He's live with us right now. And I love how he wrote in this comment. He mentioned, he told his clients that they are now the influencers in their own industry, in their own business. They have to show who they are, to humanize what they do and what they offer to build that trust. It is such an important skill, not only for people like us in social media, in digital marketing, but for every single industry. This ability to communicate your stories effectively and through digital channels is as important as our ability to speak, to write, to read. And I so agree. So share some secret with us, Jeff. And what do you think are
All right. I got a good one for you. So here's a good secret. First, I love going to events. And it's not because I enjoy getting out and doing things. As a matter of fact, I'm actually an introvert. I'd much rather be here in my house playing video games or something than being out in front of 13,000 people. Yeah, I've had to train myself over the years to be camera ready, camera ready. And what's really interesting, though, is it's all about the audience. Okay, 100% your storytelling is about the audience. If the audience doesn't relate to who you are or what you're doing,
so true.
If they don't see themselves in your shoes, then you've lost. Okay, and I want to share something with you. And this is why you don't even have to be a great copywriter. You just have to be smart, and you have to be quick, and you have to be situational, and you have to be fast. See, the problem is people wait too long, and then no one cares about it anymore.
Fresh, yeah.
I'm going to show you another example. This picture right here.
Wow.
So that's me, and that's Tony Robbins giving me the evil eye. You see that? All right. So here, that picture got over 1,400 likes.
Wow.
Now let's talk about the usual engagement rate for a post. This is a good learning lesson here. The average engagement rate for a post, which is like for most people less than 1%.
Oh yeah. Are you talking about Facebook? Are you talking about Facebook or social media in general?
Facebook is actually lower. LinkedIn's got a higher rating.
Yeah.
So let's go Facebook because that's the lowest. But for those of you watching here on LinkedIn on iShow, let's say your engagement rate is 3%, which is still pretty high. All right. Now, what if I told you that my 1,400 likes, now if we did the math on that and said it was only 1% engagement rate, how many likes, if you took 1% and I got 1,400 likes with only 1%, how many people did that actually reach? Tons, right? Yeah. Now, let's talk about my engagement rate for this post. The post got 1,400 plus likes between two posts, and the audience was about 10,000 people.
Wow.
So out of 10,000 people in my network, I got 1,400 likes. That is an insane engagement rate. That's like almost 15%. Now, I will tell you this. Really, 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 really important that you always think about a little bit of wittiness, humor, a little bit of curiosity. You want to make people think, and you also want to put people in shoes. You're going to laugh. This post that got 1,400 likes only was 3 sentences. Okay.
Wow.
The first sentence was, in the past 24 hours, oh no, in the past 8 hours, I cried 3 times.
That's
And
very interesting.
the second sentence was, and Tony spit on me twice. And the third one was, but I'm taking really good notes. Okay.
Wow.
So let's break down why that worked. One, people wanted to find out why I cried. They're like, why did he cry? You always want to make people feel curious, like what it's about. And
Yeah.
then the audience that I'm sharing with, because most of the likes were inside Tony Robbins' official group. Okay. So that group has about 5,200 people in there. And I got 670 something likes in that group. Okay. Out of 5,000.
Wow.
So so a lot of people like Tony. So I did content with Tony. They said, oh, wow, that's cool. In their head, a lot of them are thinking, wow, I wish I had a picture with Tony like that. And then the third line is that I'm taking really good notes. The funny part was I had at least 10 people message me after that post and say, hey, can you send me a copy of your notes?
Wow.
10 people, at least 10 people. There was somebody who said that they wanted to go to the event, but they had some family thing, whatever else. Like someone wrote me a whole essay about how they wanted to go, but couldn't. Could you please take notes and send me the notes after the event? And it was just crazy to think that like the trick to being successful online and to being a really good, attractive marketer is that people have to envision themselves as you. They have to see what you're doing and say, wow, that's very interesting. I'd like to do that. Okay. Now, that's also why the scammiest of scammers online seem to do successful online, because they'll rent a Lambo, right? They'll be in their Lamborghini, or they'll have some sort of Ferrari or whatever. And they're like, yeah, check me out. You know, I've got all these things. Or Ty Lopez, which I'm not going to hate on Ty Lopez because I know him. I've interviewed him. I've spoke with him on several occasions. We've kind of bumped, and we've taken our selfie together in our video and all that. But at the end of the day, he got his career started off of a video that he made in his garage with his Lamborghini, right? So you don't have to give up on your morality and ethics to be interesting to people. You have to just think about what is something that people would find very interesting. So get yourself out there. You've got to push the envelope. You've got to do some things and take some chances and things that make people say, wow, I wish I could do that. Right?
Oh, I love this. Yeah. What a great example. I will share with you guys to kind of further illustrate this point. And I just found this is my highest, best performing content on LinkedIn. And first, to really illustrate the power of LinkedIn, I also shared this piece of content on Facebook, on Instagram, on Twitter, on different platforms. I gained engagement, but didn't go viral, didn't get this level of engagement. Look, this post I shared, and then kind of following what you were saying, like for me, like my first sentence is very important. I try to evoke people's emotion. So I said I quit, right? But this is a lot longer than 3 sentences. And I shared 5 reasons that I resigned from my professor position. And just this post alone generated me so many warm leads. But I did regret that I didn't have a team. If I had a team to talk to every single warm lead that I generated from this video, I would be in a much better spot right now, but I didn't. Lesson learned. But this
Wow. So 319 comments and
very
400.
meaningful comments, like very meaningful comments. And even like a few days ago, someone like it's not just, hey, I agree, I disagree, but people actually wrote like long paragraphs to talk about this. And look, Mary Henderson, like how long this is? It was pretty long, and the meaningful comments and reactions like 400. I also got so many inbox messages asking me about my entrepreneurship immersion program and the school that I'm building. So true. Like before, when I was posting on social media, I just say, hey, blah, blah, blah. I didn't really think much about it. But now, like, I treat this as a science and an art. It is very important. Yeah.
Well, let me tell you something. And first off, congratulations. That's freaking awesome. And something that's really beautiful too is, and I actually learned this from JP Sears. JP Sears is a hilarious comedian. He's You guys, you probably saw a video from him at some point in time. He's always wearing a purple shirt. He's a ginger. He's got the red hair. It's always in a ponytail. He's just a super funny guy. But I saw him do a talk for capitalism.com.
Mm-hmm.
And one of the talks that he did was as his recipe that he makes for, he's always going viral. Like a lot of his videos go viral all the time. And that's very unique. It's very unique to go viral all the time. What he's done though is broken down to something very simple. Your topics should be things that people think about, but they say.
Wow.
Your topics should be things that people think about, but they don't say. And people think about the education system all the time and how bad it is. And for me personally, like, I know that I capped on education earlier, but I think obviously it's taught me some very valuable things in life. But what I will tell you is that we've gone astray from what the whole purpose of Benjamin Franklin, when he started the public education system in America. Yeah, Benjamin Franklin started the public education system here in America. And actually it's the standard for what most of the world has become. You know, as America does, the world follows, is the saying. But what's very interesting about the public education system is he had a whole different vision and purpose for what public education was going to be.
That's right.
His idea of public education was so that people could be successful in life, not become a higher educate. I mean, think about it. The only person that really can say, yes, college was really valuable to me is either a lawyer, a doctor, or some other position that requires you to have that degree to actually get your job, because literally you can't get those jobs without it, right? You're not going to become a registered nurse without going without getting your actual registration done and going through the courses. You're not going to, same with LVNs and all these, even the vocational stuff. And what I'm saying is, why don't we do a better job at creating mentorships and apprenticeships at companies where kids get real life experience in the real world, instead of watching TikTok and scrolling on Instagram and then wondering what I'm going to do with my life.
Amen.
Right?
Amen. Amen. I think, I so agree with you. That's a big, like, I started to see how my teaching was being transformed after I became a practitioner. I really think students need to learn from academics. That's good. But also you need to learn from practitioners who are actually doing this, right? And who are actually in the field every single day. You need to learn from those people, especially for those who are interested in becoming entrepreneurs. Because when you think about our educational system, it's training people to become an employee, is to obey, is to follow rules, follow orders. But if you want to become an entrepreneur, you have to be able to disrupt, disruptive innovation. I try to join quite a number of incubator programs. And one question they always ask is, when was the last time that you disrupted something? And I love that question. A traditional student will have a hard time answering that question seriously, because for your entire life, you are being taught you have to follow, you have to obey, don't get yourself into trouble, listen to the teacher, things like that.
So I want to show you a picture of someone who is actually making a change, and you and I can can talk about this later. But I actually got reached out by Karen Sutherland, and I know that Karen is down in Australia, and something that's very interesting, because I know that you and I had talked about how the education system is kind of weird. But you know what's very weird about Karen? Guess what this picture's from? You ready for this? She was one of the ones that took on my challenge to join TikTok. Okay? Now, something funny is that she has been trying to really also change education over there. And now, because she works in the uni system, she has a great idea. And by the way, if any of you are university professors or have access to deans, college of admissions, teachers, educators, professors, send them over to me and I, because the two of us would love nothing more than to curriculum for this. Like, we could come in and actually teach some stuff to your university, to your colleges, and supplement, because let's be honest, I mean, even the professors that I know, they understand that the system's broken,
Yeah,
and they're in the
totally.
system. They're stuck at the job at this point, right? And they do have a calling. A lot of them have said, yeah, I've been getting private messages when I talk about my education. Remember the video that I did, and I know that you do. I had a video called "Is College Still Worth It?" And much like you, that was one of my most watched videos, 10,000 views, tons and tons of comments from people that went to college, didn't go to college, and it was a variety spectrum. And of course, it was ironic that guess who said that college was useful? It was always the professors, it was always the doctors, it was always the lawyers, it was the people that couldn't even have a job today, their existence, if it wasn't for their degree, right? And the rest of the entrepreneurs and real estate agents and everybody else that's actually out there doing stuff, who even have college degrees, are like, yeah, I'm one of them. I went to college for 12 years, and outside of maybe managerial accounting class and maybe my corporate tax law class, my business law class, probably those are the only classes that I feel like are something was taught there that's applicable in the real world. You know,
Mhm.
wasn't my liberal studies class, it wasn't my drama theater class. So how do we get back to a system to where your kids can be successful? And a lot of these homeschoolers, they're way ahead of the game. There's a reason why homeschoolers
Oh my
outperform.
God. Oh my God, that's a big, big trend. Those of you who don't know, I host another, which I went live earlier today at 9 a.m. Pacific time. So my other show, What is School For, inspired by my interview with Seth Godin, and not almost, every single entrepreneur who has come to that show, they homeschool their children. It's not almost, it's like I was actually shocked to discover that I'm homeschooling my older son next year. So yes, I will share this with you. And so I was doing a talk at my incubator program, and Mark Twain already warned us, right? Don't let schooling interfere with education. But ladies and gentlemen,
Oh, mic drop.
schooling has indeed been interfering with education. Our children, everyone watching this right now, your children sitting in the classroom, they are not learning the necessary skills, digital literacy, whatever they need to be prepared, to be future ready, especially if they want to become a disruptor, especially if they want to become an entrepreneur. And so here is this one. So according to the author of Problem of Schooling, so she interviewed hundreds of kids of all ages from different countries, and children hate school almost universally. And the older they are, the stronger the feeling. I'm seeing this in my own children. My 5 years old loves school. My 8 years old, no. My undergraduate students, no way. They don't enjoy the journey of learning.
You
And
know
if they,
why?
yes,
Because it's not in alignment with their passion and their purpose.
exactly. They couldn't
Yeah.
care less about whatever comes out of my mouth. I don't blame them. Their heart for the longest period of time has been asleep. Education doesn't happen inside the classroom. That's why I'm doing this entrepreneurship immersion, to be outside of the classroom in an unfamiliar environment, and being outside of their comfort zone. And this one, everyone, go home and Google. School makes me feel. And you will be surprised. I hope you really start to think, even if you don't join my program, I don't know why, but if that's the case, you really have to take ownership of your own children's education. Do not outsource your children's education to a school. No school is personalized enough to serve your own kid. And so I just
I'm
want,
doing a search now.
yeah, let me know. That's
Wow, you know what I got for my search? School makes me sad. School makes me feel depressed. School makes me cry. School makes me tired. School makes me stressed. School makes me happy.
that's a positive one.
School makes me want to cry.
Exactly. That's like 1%, right? So it
Wow.
really makes you wonder, on top of that, how, especially in the United States, where we are in San Francisco, how much money our parents are investing in our children's education. It's insane. And children are not happy. They're not learning relevant skills. So anyway, I got so fired up talking about this, and I just saw Chocolate Johnny his comment. Yeah, his son just finished taking exams and so stressful. And I think, if you think about, if there's an ROI for that stress, it's okay. But I really don't see a high ROI. And also depending on your major. Yeah. Any
Yeah,
other secret, going back to copywriting, any other secret you want to share us, Jeff, before we wrap this up?
yeah. Let's do one more copywriting secret. Stop writing like you're some sort of smart person.
Mm.
Stop writing to people that are everything should be in 7th, 8th grade level. And I think a person who really proves that point is Trump. Now, like him or hate him, you know him. And his vocabulary, it could be that he's a brilliant marketer, or it could be that he just genuinely is the 7th and 8th grade vocabulary. But look at how the world works right now. I want you to think about the grade level of your own talk. There's a great app. It's called the Hemingway app. Okay. You can just Google Hemingway app. I think it's hemingwayapp.com. It's free. You can go online, take your post, put it inside there. And if it says anything above 8th grade, start over. Just start over. You really want to make sure that everything's easy to figure out. Your job as a marketer, by the way, if you're like, I don't need to learn marketing, okay. But I will tell you this: if you have a job and you want to keep that job, if you have a career that you value, if you have a business that you care about, if you have a product that's great, if you have a marriage that you want to keep going, every day you're constantly selling yourself to these people. Okay. So yeah, your job as a marketer, your job as a salesperson, your job is to keep interest and stay relevant. Just like I said earlier, your job is to stay relevant.
Exactly.
So I want you to think about how you talk to people, and also remember, this is my final advice to anybody: is your job is to make your message so easy for people to understand. So easy. You want people to listen to you and say, wow, I really remember what you said, and it made an impact on me. When I went to the Tony Robbins event just last week, that's why I got this cough. I was around 13,000 people getting squirted by, water guns from Tony Robbins from the stage. It was a really fun time, and I wouldn't take it back. There's definitely some things I loved. There's some things I didn't love. There's some things I hated even about the event. But what I will tell you is that it was mind-boggling how many people came up to me at that event and gave me a hug and a high five. And not because they were told to, but because they saw my post online. They saw my post. They read my story. They saw me online. They've been following me for years. And they came up to me and they gave me a hug. And hopefully none of them are watching this right now that I did this to, but there were many times I had to whip out my phone and I had to start scrolling through my friends list to find out, golly, who is this person? And that's what you want to focus on. You want your stories to be so good, so relatable, so easy for people to digest that they remember you. You become memorable, and you just want people to say, "Oh, I saw your video on whatever. I saw your post. I saw your whatever." And if you're not consistently having that happen to you at events where people come up to you and they want to give you a hug because they feel like they know you, then you're doing it wrong.
Oh, amen, brother. I love this because now, after I start to share my stories, hosting my live streaming shows, almost every single conference I went to, there are people I don't know, but they have been consuming my content. They were like, hey, you are the classroom without walls. They recognize my hashtag. Was like, wow. But think about, our students, the next generation, they need this skill, like a traditional one-page resume. I think that's like dinosaur. We can gone are the days that a piece of paper can get you wherever you want to be. That's no longer sufficient. Yes, so great. So I saw we're just going to wrap up here. I saw some people asking me about the immersion program because some of you joined us late. So I'm organizing an entrepreneurship immersion next month in Singapore, outside of your comfort zone. And
can I talk about it? Can I talk about it? So guys, first off, I'm super honored to be speaking at the event. I'm so excited. I'm just so excited. And also the opportunity you gave me to bring my family and at the Yacht Club of all places, a 5-star resort. I mean, I can't tell you how excited my family is to leave the country again. We have we have a meeting with the immigration office on the 25th to get our passports expedited for our kids. But what's really interesting is, one of the things that really motivated me and why I want to do this and why I hope that some of you are motivated if you've got a child from 17 to 25 or even 14. It's really something that's going to be impactful. I know the speakers that are there are going to give really valuable lessons that you cannot learn in any type of education system out there. You're not going to buy a course on it. You're not going to be able to go to college. You're going to be able to learn in 10 days from the 9th of December to the 19th. You're going to be able to actually be successful in life. You're going to have a way to understand your direction in life. You're going to have a way to actually, let's teach our kids that they don't have to wait to graduate high school or college to be successful in life. Let's teach our kids that they can actually start generating a buzz and start doing things. Like I can teach in one day. And by the way, let's talk proof for a minute. When I first met I was so in love with your message and your purpose. And I remember reading a post of yours and saying, oh man, you deserve to have do you remember this? And I said, you deserve to have so many more eyeballs on this than what you got. And you were like, oh, thank you. And I was like, listen, if you'd allow me, could I rewrite this post for you in my method? And you were like, oh my God, yes, I'd love that. And I remember rewriting the post for you, talking about the classroom without walls. And because as a matter of fact, if I remember correctly, you were just starting out your show.
Yes.
This is like right before you got the LinkedIn Live or something like that. But you were at that time, you were just posting it on video, right?
Yeah.
And I said, more people need to hear about your message and what you're doing. And I rewrote that post for you. And I remember you posting it and you messaged me and you were like, oh my God, so many people like and comment on my post. This is incredible. And then I convinced you to come into the Social Copy Secrets program. And I remember you like, now I have to say, like, this is where you can really tell a good educator. A good educator is someone who's always a perpetual student. And I can tell in your blood that you're like driven to always learn, because now all of your posts are done in that method and all of your posts are always doing so well. And it's just so refreshing as someone like me.
Marketing. I don't do any booths. I don't do any ads. They just perform really well.
And wouldn't that be a valuable skill? I mean, even if they just came to see me, and I'm not going to toot my own horn or pat myself on the back, but even if all you did was show up to this event and learn how to get attention online without having to boost Facebook ads and just doing organic content like what I's doing every day, like I'm doing all day, like how much value would that be for you guys? So anyway, I'll let you finish. All I'm going to say is that the 10 days, the speakers that are lined up, not to mention the educational part, but all the cool extracurricular activities that we're going to be doing after the lessons, going out, doing fun things. Like, I'm just so honored. I'm so blessed to be there with you, I.
Thank you. Thank you. Just a quick. So Caroline is from India. She's going to discuss the personal development. My friend Clarice from UK, she actually just spoke at Inbound, and she's going to discuss Google Analytics for small business and entrepreneur, and Jeff Hunter, copywriting, Chocolate Johnny, social media community building, and talk about TikTok. And Dr. Natalia, essential elements of personal branding. She's really, really well known on LinkedIn. She's actually a LinkedIn teacher, a LinkedIn author. So she is teaching some of the LinkedIn classes. And so she's coming from UAE. My friend Yusuf from Australia, but right now based in Singapore, and Sushi, they are going to do the closing keynote. And Yusuf is going to discuss why failures and mistakes are so important to become successful in your career. And Sushi is a well-known laughter coach, so we are going to have some good laughter. Exactly like that. And Stella, she is really well-known on LinkedIn. She's going to discuss LinkedIn and organic lead, how to leverage LinkedIn. And from UK, and Dr. Terry. Look at how many doctors we have. So she's actually from Jamaica, and she is an Instagram influencer. I met her in person, and when she was walking on the street, people just recognized her. She has like millions of followers on Instagram. Amazing. And my dear friend Tim Quinn will discuss YouTube, how to grow a YouTube channel. He's based in UK. 10 speakers from 5 different countries.
Does that mean I'm the only American there?
I think so.
Yeah! Woo! Represent!
That's so cool. I didn't realize that. Yeah. So 10 speakers from 5 different countries. I got 300 people apply to speak at my event. Those people, I saw them speak on stage. I know how good they are. And as Jeff mentioned, we're going to visit Microsoft, Talkworker, Adobe, HubSpot. And they're also fun, having fun.
Wait, we're going to visit those companies? We're going to go to Adobe?
Yes.
We're going to go to Microsoft.
And
we're going to go to HubSpot.
Yes, and those are 2 leading startup companies in
Come on, man. You have made my whole entire year.
Oh, you're too kind. Yeah. And then as Jeff mentioned, we'll be staying at the Yacht Club, and we'll be visiting all those major Universal Studio, some other touristy place in the afternoon for a more immersive learning experience. So I don't know what is stopping you. And if you are still having questions, comment below, and let's have a chat about this. And so, yes. And Jeff, where can people learn more about you?
Google me, Jeff J. Hunter. If you go to jeffjhunter.com, that's where you can find me. Of course, my now I will warn you guys, if you try to add me on Facebook, I have hit the 5,000 friend limit for like 2 years. But my LinkedIn is always accepting connections, y'all. My LinkedIn's always Jeff J. Hunter on LinkedIn. I find LinkedIn to be the most valuable platform for growth right now in my own personal business. Facebook is still killing it on the sales, but growth, LinkedIn.
Absolutely. So definitely follow Jeff Hunter and follow me. And next year, I will be organizing more immersions in different countries. So definitely stay tuned, because I believe in learning beyond the classroom. I think that's the best education. Thank you so much, everyone, for joining us live. I'm so excited. I hope to see many of you in Singapore. I'm definitely looking forward to seeing you in Singapore, Jeff, and my dear friend Chocolate Johnny in Singapore. And John is also bringing his son to join us in Singapore. So I will bring my own.
You know what? This is my formal thank you so much for hooking me up for Global Marketing Day 2. That worked out so well. You know what, guys? This is why the power of proximity is so true, because has helped me get so many amazing opportunities, and I can't even tell you just the influence that she's able to have by building this incredible audience on LinkedIn and Facebook and networking. Like, if you want to find somebody who really motivates you every day, you should have I on your follow list and just put her C first on every platform, because she's killing it. Like, if you want to know what to do, how to be successful in life, follow I.
Are you talking about me? Oh, thank you so much.
No, not this I. That I. Yeah, you.
I'm so passionate about this topic, and this is already my 2nd live streaming show today, and I'm still so fired up. So I'm ready to change people's lives, especially the young generation. That's the population. That's my calling, to work with those people, high school, college, undergraduate students. So yeah, thank you so much, Jeff, and appreciate you. Thank you so much, everyone. Have a great, amazing weekend. Bye.